Forget everything you thought you knew about electronic warfare. The Gripen isn't just a fighter, it's an invisible ghost, and today we're revealing how its sophisticated EW suite could potentially neutralize the Pentagon's electronic attack strategies. Prepare for a paradigm shift in how you view modern air combat. Modern air combat is no longer defined by dogfights or missile counts. The real battle now happens quietly, inside the electromagnetic spectrum: radars, data links, GPS, and sensors. Wars are increasingly decided by who controls information before the first shot is fired. Electronic warfare has evolved far beyond simple jamming. Today, it shapes what the enemy sees, believes, and how quickly they can react. If a pilot's situational awareness is distorted, speed and firepower lose their advantage. Historically, EW moved from crude radar disruption in World War II to strategic tools during the Cold War. Now it's multispectral and fused, spanning radar, infrared, satellites, and cyber domains. EW is no longer support, it's central to air combat. This is where Gripen challenges traditional air superiority thinking. Instead of chasing mass and stealth at any cost, it prioritizes information and perception control. The idea is blunt but effective: blind the opponent first, and the dogfight never happens.
Gripen's electronic warfare philosophy isn't built around add-ons or external pods. It's designed as a native survival system woven directly into the aircraft's nervous system. This matters because EW that lives inside the jet reacts faster, sees more, and doesn't announce its presence the way bolt-on solutions often do. Integrated Electronic Warfare Suite, IEWS. Gripen's IEWS blends passive sensing and active countermeasures into a single decision loop. Instead of constantly shouting with radar energy, the aircraft prefers to listen first. It passively detects enemy emissions, builds a threat picture, and only transmits when doing so creates an advantage. This fusion means the jet isn't just defending itself, it's quietly mapping the battle space while remaining difficult to track. The key assumption being challenged here is that protection requires constant emission. Gripen flips that logic. Silence is often the strongest defense. Digital Radio Frequency Memory, DRFM. DRFM is where EW shifts from brute force to deception. Rather than flooding enemy radar with noise, Gripen captures incoming radar signals, digitally alters them, and sends them back with surgical precision. The result? False targets, shifted ranges, ghost aircraft, threats that look real enough to demand attention. This is a game changer because it attacks trust. Once radar operators stop believing what they see, their entire kill chain slows down. A missile delayed by confusion is often a missile that never launches. Cognitive EW and AI integration. Gripen's most forward-leaning edge lies in cognitive EW. Its systems don't just execute pre-programmed responses, they learn, adapt, and refine tactics in real time. By analyzing patterns in enemy emissions, the aircraft can anticipate shifts in radar behavior and adjust its countermeasures mid-engagement. This isn't science fiction autonomy, it's constrained, human-supervised intelligence designed to compress reaction time beyond human limits. The strategic implication is clear. The jet that thinks faster doesn't just survive longer, it dictates the tempo of the fight. Taken together, Gripen's electronic guardian isn't about overpowering the enemy, it's about staying invisible, undermining confidence, and winning the engagement before it fully begins.
The US and NATO approach electronic warfare at a completely different scale. Their doctrine is built around electronic attack as a force-wide operation, not an individual aircraft skill. Instead of subtle deception, the emphasis is on overwhelming enemy defenses, jamming radars, disrupting data links, and saturating the spectrum from multiple platforms at once. A key pillar of this strategy is next-generation jamming pods, especially systems like the Next Generation Jammer, NGJ. Mounted on aircraft such as the EA-18G Growler, NGJ delivers high-power, software-defined jamming designed to suppress or collapse integrated air defense systems. It's not stealthy or quiet, it's intentionally loud, forcing enemy radars and command networks into survival mode. What makes this approach uniquely powerful is networked EW.
US and NATO assets share data across air, sea, land, space, and cyber domains, coordinating electronic attacks in real time. Satellites cue aircraft, aircraft cue ships, and cyber effects reinforce EW actions. The goal isn't confusion at the tactical level, it's environmental dominance, reshaping the entire battle space so friendly forces can operate freely. This doctrine trades elegance for scale. Where Gripen seeks precision and deception, the Pentagon seeks control through massed, synchronized electronic force.
Imagine Gripen entering a heavily contested airspace already shaped by US and NATO electronic dominance. The spectrum is crowded, noisy, and actively controlled. This is not a fair fight, and that's exactly the point of the simulation. Gripen wouldn't try to overpower this environment. Its first move would be silence and deception. Passive sensors would map emissions without revealing its position, while spoofing and DRFM-based techniques would attempt to create false tracks and distort threat perception. The goal wouldn't be to shut systems down, but to slip through gaps, forcing defenders to chase ghosts while Gripen remains ambiguous and late to detect. The Pentagon's response would be very different. Networked EW assets, airborne jammers, satellites, and data-fused command nodes would work to correlate signals, cross-check anomalies, and expose deception. Once identified, Gripen's EW could be countered through spectrum saturation, adaptive jamming, or cueing kinetic assets. The critical insight here is not who wins, but where pressure appears. Gripen's approach could create local confusion and timing windows, but sustained operations would favor US NATO scale and coordination. Innovation may open doors, but dominance still depends on how long you can hold the spectrum once you're inside.
The electronic warfare arms race isn't slowing down, it's accelerating. Every advance in sensors, AI, and networking is immediately met with countermeasures, upgrades, and new doctrines. There is no final advantage in EW, only temporary edges that reward those who adapt faster than their rivals. For smaller nations, this reality changes the rules. Competing with US-scale electronic dominance is unrealistic, but Gripen's modular, software-driven EW model offers a different path. Independent upgrades, localized threat libraries, and lower operational costs allow smaller air forces to stay relevant without buying into massive, tightly coupled US systems. So who wins the next electronic war? Not the side with the loudest jammers or the biggest budgets, but the one that evolves quickest. In 2025 and beyond, air dominance will belong to platforms and doctrines that learn, adapt, and reshape the spectrum in real time. The future isn't about owning the sky, it's about controlling the signals that define it.